I think that's a good sign, guys. I don't know.
I saw the last one out.
It's pretty sweet though.
That's separation.
How y'all doing? This is Nick with Return 'em Right. We've got Hannah with Bajio. We've got Declan with Bajio, Brittany. We got Cade and we got Jazz back there. I was supposed to do this video like 10 minutes ago when we got here, but everyone's already fishing and catching fish. We were out with Anthony Belmonte from Figured It Out Charters. We're doing a little summer campaign with Bajio, getting some descending devices in the hands of anglers, so we wanted to come out here, do some filming, do some fishing, make sure everyone knows how to use the gear, and just have a good day. So we probably won't film a ton for YouTube at least, but I'll try to sneak in some shots and do a little short video. This is the sequelizer kit that you get pre-rigged to a 3-pound weight, so that's a good enough weight to start. If you want, you can swap the weight for a smaller one by unclipping it, but we'll leave that on for now. It's already rigged to a 3-way swivel, so it's good to go. We're just gonna set the depth. We're fishing in 160, so we're gonna set it to 150 by pushing in that split, that button, turning. Then we'll clip it on the bottom jaw of a fish, and we're actually just gonna attach it directly here, directly to a snap swivel. So, and then it's ready to go.
So, we got a keeper rig group here. You can clearly see the stomach is out of the mouth. For those guys that don't know really how to properly vent them, I would suggest using the venting tool on a keeper that you guys are going to keep already. So, for instance, what you're going to do is you're going to lay the fin down right here, and you're going to want to go right in between, right about there, and you can clearly hear the gas being released. Done. And if we wanted to, we could throw this guy right back.
But we're gonna throw him in the box.
But we're gonna throw him in the box.
So we've been here, what, like 5-10 minutes? Got a keeper red grouper, a couple short red snapper. So while Hannah's fighting that fish, I'll show you the first red grouper that we descended. You saw we vented one earlier. We've been really promoting venting fish that you're gonna keep. If you need more practice or need more experience, there's no harm in venting the fish before you throw them in the box. It's a great way to practice without hurting a fish that needs to go back. And my apologies also for the gaps in the footage for the day. We're really filming with Bajio for promotional purposes. We're doing a little campaign together this summer. So YouTube was not the intention of this trip. We got a ton of cool photos and some cool video, but not really for YouTube. But anyway, this first red grouper descended to 150 feet, which is the deepest setting on the standard sequelizer. They do make a deep water version. And you'll see once it releases, the bottom is not much further. I think we were fishing 165 feet here, so you'll see the camera hit the bottom.
So, back in the day, and it still happens even now, some people think that they can just sit here and poke right here, and then the fish will live. That's not the case. Fortunately for this one, we're keeping it, so I'm just showing you guys what not to do. You still want to come right here and vent when you're releasing them.
Spot check, second spot. We got a couple on the angler code jig, a couple keeper red grouper, a couple red snapper, a couple undersized red grouper. That's about it right there. That's all. That's it for now, but second spot. So first drop on the second spot, someone caught a little scamp. I'm not sure who it was, but it was about 15 inches, too small to keep. So we threw it on the descending device. These scamp grouper are pretty weak from a grouper perspective. They're weaker than gag grouper, red grouper. Even the fight's pretty weak compared to those other grouper and snapper. But sending it down, we wanted to give it its best chance possible. Recently at some Gulf Council meetings, I actually heard in public comments some captains saying that scamp don't really make it down that often. They usually float off, so we always want to give them their best chance, especially considering it looks like NOAA will be reducing the quota for 2027. I think the last stock assessment showed they weren't in the best shape. So there will likely be a season for Scamp in the Gulf in 2027 instead of being open year round. So again, doing our best to try to take care of them here. And when it pops off, it kind of is a little sideways at first before righting itself and kicking slowly off the screen. Not the hardest kickoff I've ever seen, but again, with Scamp being a little bit of a weaker grouper, I kind of expect a little bit longer of a recovery time. Then when the camera hits the bottom here, you can actually see a really nice triggerfish come into the screen here on the right. Looks like it's trying to eat something or someone's bait, and then another Scamp comes in behind it. So good sign of life at the spot. On the octopus. What is it? Little red snapper?
Giant red snapper.
Giant red snapper?
Or a small grunt. Very hard.
It'll be like a world record.
Knowing me, probably.
And we got Jazz on too. Man, you wearing out over there?
I need a chair. Got a red dog for you.
Oh. You snagged him.
That's why it's fighting.
We also got Jazz on. Something big, Jazz?
Feels like it.
Declan's playing with his little red grouper up there.
She's definitely not crying as much as he does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Declan just caught a little red grouper on my octopus jig, and the bottom was missing, and then in the mouth of the grouper that Jazz caught was the rest of the octopus, so we can actually hook it back on and reuse it. That's wild. Never seen that. So pulled up a little red grouper with this, and then the keeper red grouper had this in its mouth. So we'll reattach it and keep using it. So I didn't get any footage, but Brittany got a massive red grouper, so shout out to her. This is probably the biggest red grouper of the trip. Then after I got a really nice trigger fish, actually came up sideways, snagged it with that same octopus jig before we moved on to the next spot.
you know why they're called trigger fish?
Can't put it down.
When they get agitated. Oh,
So here.
I didn't know
Feel
that.
Yeah, try to push it down. All right, ready? Ready? And
Release.
all right, we're gonna send him all the way down. So when you're descending these fish, typically when the fish releases, the spool's gonna speed up because you're no longer bringing a fish down with it. So it's just gonna be that 2 or 3 pound weight and free spool. So you know it releases when it speeds up on the spool. And then we basically just, I like to send it down to the bottom, plus we're releasing these in 150 feet and we're fishing in 160, so it's practically on the bottom. And then you just reel this up and you'll see that the sending device will be popped open and the fish will be free to swim off on its own. Bajio crew on. We got Hannah on, Cade on.
You want us to let it out?
Uh-oh.
You guys over there, you roll.
Just like they are. Ooh. Big red grouper. Nice one. Here's a shot of Hannah's nice big red grouper and Cade's gag grouper. Great candidate for the descending device. They're not open until September. So you'll see we're quickly clipping it on here.
Locked in, twin.
Alright, that's definitely recording. Alright.
1 second.
Well, if they were in season, he'd definitely be a keeper.
You might hear me say, is he gonna need more? I'm referring to if he needs more weight to descend the fish. So if you don't have enough weight, the fish can actually float that weight and weight a 3 pound weight on. but also that camera mount adds a little bit of extra drag. So you can see the fish does start going down, so we didn't end up having to add more. If they get started, usually the gases will start to recompress a little bit and they'll speed up, kind of like a scuba diver. Once you start going down the water column, you actually start descending a little bit faster as you get more negatively buoyant. But a really nice gag, pretty smooth descent, great clarity again. When he pops off, he swims away pretty strong. He's able to right himself pretty quickly. So pretty confident this one survived. Here at the bottom, you'll see a nice little school of bait come through, and then a nice red snapper following. We ended up sabiking a few of those and using them after. Shortly after that first gag, Brittany came in with the biggest gag of the day. Shout out to her for getting the biggest gag and biggest red grouper of the trip. So another good one for the descending device. Should be good. See, like when it's really clipped, see that? You could hold like a heavy fish on by it if it's hooked on, right? Obviously, like it would suck to see a big gag like that float off out of season. So with the descending device, you're giving him the best chance to survive. And all we have to do is kind of lower him down and it'll release at the right depth. Down he goes, nice and slow.
Look at these things.
Yeah, oh, those are...
Are they
I
sick?
like the thing. So you'll see here in a bit why I love sending a camera down while descending fish. You really never know what you're going to see, especially in this beautiful clarity. So this is a great video of the gag going down. As you can see, it's not struggling at all. So that is why sharks are not getting fish while descending nearly as much as on the way up. The fish aren't struggling while descending. They're acting completely different than when you're fighting them. A lot of anglers think you're just spoon feeding sharks, and that's simply not the case. It's not a valid excuse to not give descending devices a shot. And then here we see some tunas in the video. It looked like some blackfins, maybe some bonita mixed in, but a ton of them. I mean, tons of them, and big ones too. And then the fish releases, kind of turned a little sideways. The tunas are following him. He starts kicking good, shoots off right there down at the bottom of the screen, and just surrounded by a cloud of tunas. And there's a big shark too in the video in the back. See how that shark's not chasing any of the fish. He's kind of just hanging out. The red snappers are staring at the camera. Just a really cool descend. You know, you never know what you're going to see on these cameras. And again, the shark's not bothering anything. There you saw him swim by again. I think it might have been a tiger shark. And then here go the tunas by one more time. And just, we had no idea these tuna were even here. We had some jigs down. We didn't catch any. We probably didn't have the right ones. And by the time we reviewed the footage, it was too late. They had already moved on. It probably took us 15 minutes to review the footage. If you look, one of the lesser known signs of barotrauma is actually bubbling scales. So if you look closely, see the scales are kind of lifted off the body of the fish. The gases in the body are expanding so much they have nowhere to go. So it actually forces its way through the skin and out of the scales and causes them to like bubble off of their body. Little red snapper, its body is full of air. Its body cavity is rock hard from barotrauma. We saw those scales bubbling out. So you could vent this fish and get it back. We're just gonna throw it on a descending device quick. So I already set this sequelizer descending device to release at 150. It can release at 50, 100, or 150, but we're fishing in 170. And I like to get these fish back to the bottom as close as possible so we can get them back to the structure or the school they came from. They don't have to swim around past sharks and dolphins. So you always wanna clip this on the lower jaw. You get a better grip on the lower jaw. I have a 2-pound weight on here. And I'm actually gonna start this camera here too. And all you have to do is set that in the water. You'll see he's floating there. And all you have to do is drop it down, and as soon as that device hits 150 feet, it pops off and releases the fish, and he's free to swim off. The mortality rates are a lot lower when you use descending devices compared to if you don't know how to vent the fish, or obviously if the fish is floating off on the surface, it has almost no chance of surviving. Very next fish, red snapper going down on the descending device. And again, tunas, sharks, red snapper, all kinds of life. I'm just gonna be quiet and let you enjoy this one. Last spot of the day, it looks like we found the red snapper.
Thank you.
They are pouring in now. All right, I think we're calling it a day. Hannah's got the last fish. We got a bunch of birds above us right now. So something must be out here, but pretty sweet day. Got a bunch of red grouper, red snapper, Bajio crew was here, caught some gags, released a bunch, kept a good amount. One last red snapper to be sent down. Shout out to Anthony as always, figured it out. Our star of the show here. Shout out to Bajio too. Look out for the campaign this summer. Shades and descending devices, a little giveaway. All right, we're out.